I love fucking losing. I do, laughy guy.
If you have heard this voice before, you are one of the very few people who wants to really make something happen in this world. Be it in business or not, your choice of whom to listen to, the one and only Gary Vaynerchuk, aka Gary Vee, won't turn you down. Gary Vee is considered one of the pretty straightforward, go-get-it type influencer who most of us really don't get in the first glance. Although his message is pretty simple that can be listed easily on a piece of paper, some people still struggle in absorbing the essence unless you haven't gone through many hours of his content. So, if you have been following him for a while but don't know which one to pick, here's the top 5 principles of Gary Vee which will help you highlight. Enjoy. Hustle. Gary Vee is another name for hustle and work. If you have ever seen him loud with his big mouth, you must have heard this word work multiple times. Gary is notorious for his walk the talk approach. He's proud that before becoming the social media icon, he used to spend his entire 20s and 30s building his dad's liquor business from 3 to 60 million in revenue. In one of his videos, he states that hustle is the most important word, and here's how he breaks it down.
And so when AJ and I started VaynerMedia 7 years ago, we started it out of a company called Buddy Media's conference room. For the first 2 years that I ran VaynerMedia, we had no rent. We first worked out of a conference room. We then worked out of a co-working space before the whole WeWork and co-working space revolution, and I bartered my time to help that company in exchange for a very small space. We didn't buy furniture, we scrapped. And I'd already made it, I was already rich. And we scrapped. And so the biggest thing that I want to implore everybody here today to do is to take a step back and think about how fancy are they? Are you willing to be really, really, really ghetto? Do you really need that chair? Do you really need that piece of technology? Do you really need to fly that class?
Giving value. Gary describes every business as a value exchange. The more value you bring to the table, the more the chance that you will win. He's the host of one of the earliest wine shows in the history of social media and had embraced social media at a very early stage when it was not even the thing. Ever since, he states that he never has hesitated to spend hours sneaking into wine conversations and providing value, even without calling for action to buy his stuff.
I thought I was gonna do the QVC of wine. The first episode of that show, when that camera went on and that light went on, I realized that this was gonna be on the internet forever. And that I didn't wanna just peddle wine. I decided I wanted to be a value to people in learning about wine, because I was scared that if I was peddling something I didn't believe in, that somebody would come up to me at a party and say, do you like this? And I'd say, no, I hate it. They're like, well, you fucking said it was awesome on Wine Library TV. You're a scam artist. I'm like, shit, no. So, I was very focused on leveling up, and I really believe the one great piece of advice, if you want to take anything from this talk, is we have to start realizing that giving and doing things in business without expectation of return from the other individual is probably the greatest leverage that you could ever deploy in your business life, though it is extremely rare in today's business environment. And it has absolutely been the bedrock of what has allowed me to win.
Patience. It's no wonder that one who built his father's wine business from 3 to 60 million, dedicating the best years of his life, and left that business with nothing to build VaynerMedia, a modern day social media agency, to have such a tremendous amount of patience. Gary states that the biggest misunderstanding that the millennials and people in general have is they have not been patient enough to see the long-term results, that they either quit prematurely or they complain that the market isn't right.
Yo bro, nobody, unless they were a trust fund baby, ever bought the Rams when they go skiing for a week when they're 24. Nobody you know has become successful outside of it being given to them from their family. Nobody you know has actually created success without working their face off. It doesn't exist. So you can sit and talk about luck, and you can sit and talk about this, that, or the other thing, but I promise you, the only controllable thing you have is your work ethic. So, going back to the beginning of my talk, you need to deploy serious self-awareness and figure out who you are. I implore you to start matching your work ethic and your actions to your mouth. If you're gonna be a billionaire, you need to realize that most people that create $1 billion worth of wealth don't do anything besides work every single day of their 20s and 30s. All of them.
Practicality. Gary is a huge believer that we are living in a world where securing 100,000 extra an year while working in a 9-to-5 job has never been easier thanks to the internet. Every resource to build a business as a side hustle is literally available in the internet. Yet, more often than not, we overlook these advices, burying it with another excuse.
Business is no different than fitness. Business is no different than fitness. You want to get more fit? Eat healthy and work out. But nobody wants to fucking do it because fucking chocolate and sleeping in is fun. And celery and fucking treadmills suck shit.
Audacity. Thanks to the internet, many opportunities are being exposed every day. Yet at the same time, everyone is exposed to each other at a rate than ever before. For some people, this is naturally a huge opportunity as they know how to convert this attention to their advantage. However, for many, facing the fear of judgment before they get exposed is a tough job. According to Gary, lots of people really don't live up to their potential or miss out things merely because of the fear of other people's judgments.
It's all gonna lead to one thing, which is, do you understand yourself and what you're trying to achieve? Are you in a place where you've actually started the process of not worrying about what your parents or your friends or your spouse thinks about you? And once you get into that good place, you will not fear to post content on. I do not fear posting content of me taking, a Saturday and garage sailing and buying something for $4 and selling it for $8 and having enormous joy in that, even though hundreds of comments on YouTube are, well, you lost money because of fuel and time. I don't give a fuck, Larry. I do not fear about putting out the content that I will put over the next month about everybody should invest in sports cards because I think I'm right, and I don't care if you think I'm stupid or it's a waste of time. You can only start communicating and getting results for your business when you believe. The amount of people sitting in this room that actually don't believe in the shit they sell is devastating.
Perspective. Life is a constant ups and downs graph. With our decisions, we never know what would have happened if we choose the otherwise. However, if you can look in a positive glass when bad things try to rule in your life, that's certainly a rarity that will guarantee a payoff over time.
The other thing that we have not contextualized is time. If there's been any breakthrough in my mind over the last half decade, it's, oh shit, my ability to contextualize time slightly better than the masses is why I'm so happy. Of course I can be patient when I think 43 is young as fuck. You know how many people are sitting here at 28 fucking nervous as shit thinking they missed their moment? We need to contextualize time. When you start thinking in long terms, how many people under 40 in this room? Raise your hand. When you realize that you're gonna live 2 more full lives, 2 more, what you've just lived up to this moment, that you're gonna do that 2 more full times, all of a sudden, not getting results tomorrow feels a little bit more palpable.
Well, we have reached the top 5 plus a bonus tip out of Gary Vee's tips for success. If you feel one of them just scratched your head, make sure you leave a comment below and hit the likes button because that will help to keep me up in my creative process. If you are new to the channel, I did a short film about eating disorders a while ago which you can click through in your left hand side. Enjoy the week.